Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about something that might seem a bit heavy, but trust me, it's super important. Look around at the world we live in. All these amazing systems that keep everything running smoothly, from electricity to grocery stores to the internet. It's pretty incredible, but here's the thing. It's all way more fragile than most people realize. Now, I'm not here to scare you or push some doomsday narrative. I just want to talk about building real resilience, practical skills, and systems that make your life better right now while preparing you for whatever might happen down the road. This isn't about becoming some wilderness hermit. It's about becoming more capable and self-reliant in ways that benefit you no matter what. If you find this helpful, hit that subscribe button for more practical content like this. Let's dive into what you'll wish you knew before things get tough. Let's start with food, because honestly, that's where problems show up first when systems start breaking down. Most of us are completely dependent on grocery stores that get restocked every single day. And when that stops, even for a short time, things get dicey fast. Learning how to preserve food is a total game changer. Our grandparents and great-grandparents all knew these skills, but most of us never picked them up. I'm talking about simple fermentation like turning cabbage into sauerkraut or kimchi. You just need some salt, vegetables, and a clean jar. And not only does it make food last longer, but it actually becomes more nutritious in the process. Growing food is another huge one, and saving seeds from your garden is a skill that pays off big time because those store-bought seed packets are great. But when you save your own seeds from plants that did well in your specific yard, you're basically creating varieties perfectly adapted to your conditions. Just let some fully ripen, scoop out the seeds, dry them thoroughly, and store them in a cool, dry place. Something else most people totally overlook is wild food that's probably growing all around you right now. Common weeds like dandelions and purslane are super nutritious, sometimes way more than the stuff we actually plant on purpose, and pine needle tea has more vitamin C than orange juice. But just be super careful and absolutely certain about identification before eating anything wild. A good laminated field guide specific to your area is worth its weight in gold. The cool thing about all these food skills is that they work together as a system. Your preserved foods get you through until your garden produces. Your saved seeds grow better each year, and wild foods fill in the gaps. Plus, these skills make your life better right now. Fresher food, better nutrition, and money saved at the grocery store. Now let's talk water, because you can only last about 3 days without it. Most of us just turn on the tap without thinking about the massive infrastructure making that possible. And when that stops working, you need options. Rainwater collection is probably the easiest place to start for most people. But there's more to it than just putting out buckets when it rains. A good system collects water from your roof, filters out the initial dirty runoff, called a first flush diverter, and stores it properly to prevent mosquitoes and contamination. And even a modest setup can collect hundreds of gallons from a single good rainfall. Knowing how to purify water is just as important as collecting it, because different methods work better for different contaminants. Boiling kills most germs but uses a lot of fuel. Filters remove bacteria and parasites, but not necessarily viruses, and chemical treatments like bleach or purification tablets work well, but can have a weird taste. So having multiple options gives you flexibility depending on what you're dealing with. A cool trick not many people know about is setting up a simple gray water system, which just means reusing water from your shower or washing machine to water plants instead of sending it down the drain. You don't need anything fancy, just redirect the water to where it's useful rather than wasting it, which is a super simple concept that can stretch your water supply tremendously. These water systems tie directly into your food production too. Your collected rainwater keeps your garden alive during dry spells, and your garden helps filter your gray water. See how it all connects? That's the beauty of thinking in systems rather than just stockpiling stuff. When the power goes out, modern life basically stops. No heat, no AC, no refrigeration, no lights, no internet. You get the picture. Building some energy independence isn't about going completely off-grid. It's about having options for your most essential needs. Let's talk heating first, because in cold climates, this can literally be life or death. A good wood stove is hard to beat for reliability, but you need to know what you're doing. Properly seasoned wood, dried for at least a year, burns way more efficiently than green wood, And those rocket stoves you might have seen online are amazing because they're super efficient and can boil water using just twigs and small branches. For lighting, it's tough to beat modern LED technology paired with rechargeable batteries and a small solar panel. A setup that costs less than $100 can provide essential lighting for years, while old-school options like oil lamps work too. But be careful with any open flame indoors. Cooking without electricity or gas is something our ancestors did for thousands of years. Simple solar ovens can reach 300 degrees Fahrenheit on sunny days, letting you bake or slow-cook meals using zero fuel. And for cloudy days, those rocket stoves I mentioned work great for cooking too. Refrigeration is tricky without power, but there are clever solutions. Root cellars use the consistent, cool temperature underground to store fruits and vegetables for months. And a zir pot is basically two clay pots with sand between them that uses evaporation to create cooling. An ancient technology that still works great. For actual electricity generation, small solar setups are more affordable than ever. You don't need to power your whole house, just focus on critical needs like charging phones, running small medical devices, or powering a few lights. And understanding basic electrical concepts helps you make the most of limited power. The key with energy is matching your expectations to reality. You won't be running your gaming PC and big screen TV during a crisis, but you can absolutely meet your essential needs with some simple preparations. Let's be real. Modern healthcare is amazing, but it's also incredibly dependent on complex systems and supply chains. So building some medical self-reliance is about handling common issues when professional care isn't immediately available. Prevention is your best medicine. Strong baseline health through good nutrition, regular exercise, quality sleep, and stress management makes you much more resilient to everything. This isn't just good crisis preparation, it's good life preparation. For those with prescription medications, talk to your doctor about having a small emergency supply. Many insurance companies now allow early refills for emergency preparedness, and it's worth learning proper storage techniques to maximize shelf life and researching potential alternatives, including herbal or traditional approaches that might help manage your condition if medications become unavailable. Beyond basic first aid, learning some more advanced skills can be incredibly valuable. Knowing proper wound cleaning and closure, how to immobilize injuries, how to manage burns, and how to recognize and respond to shock can bridge the gap until professional help arrives. Wilderness first aid courses are perfect for this since they're specifically designed for situations where you can't just call 911. Don't forget dental care, which is something people often overlook until they're in serious pain. Having some temporary filling material, clove oil for pain relief, and knowing basic extraction techniques can prevent a dental issue from becoming debilitating. Mental health is just as important as physical health during stressful times. Simple practices like deep breathing, meditation, and maintaining social connections can make a huge difference in your ability to function under pressure. The good news is that building these health capabilities makes your life better right now. You'll spend less time sick, recover faster from injuries, and generally feel better day to day, all while building resilience for tougher times. In our specialized world, most of us have gotten really good at one narrow thing, while depending on others for practically everything else. So building some basic practical skills gives you options when specialized services aren't available. Let's start with tools, because they're the gateway to everything else. Get comfortable with basic hand tools like hammers, screwdrivers, wrenches, saws, and measuring tools, and learn how to maintain them properly. Keeping tools sharp, clean, and protected from rust is essential. Plus, hand tools are especially valuable because they don't need electricity or batteries to work. Basic repair skills save you money right now and become priceless during disruptions. The key is developing a troubleshooting mindset. Carefully observing the problem, thinking logically about causes, testing your theories, and implementing solutions step by step. This approach works for everything from fixing a leaky faucet to diagnosing why something mechanical won't start. Sewing is another super practical skill that's become less common. Being able to repair tears, replace buttons, and make simple modifications to clothing extends the life of your wardrobe and saves money. And if you want to take it further, learning to make basic items from scratch gives you even more options. Food processing is something our grandparents all knew how to do that most of us have forgotten. Simple skills like properly butchering animals to minimize waste, Grinding grains for flour or extracting oils from nuts and seeds turn raw agricultural products into useful forms that last longer and provide more nutrition. The really cool thing about practical skills is that they build on each other. Learning one thing makes learning the next thing easier, and they all connect. Your repair skills maintain your tools, which help you build your water system, which supports your garden. It's all interconnected in the best possible way. Here's something the lone wolf preppers get wrong. Throughout history, it's communities that survive and thrive during tough times, not isolated individuals. So building strong community connections might be the most important preparation of all. It starts with trust, which isn't built overnight. Small, consistent actions that demonstrate reliability, integrity, and genuine concern for others create the foundation for stronger cooperation later. Start with low-stakes exchanges and collaborations, then gradually build from there as trust develops. A really practical exercise is mapping out the skills that exist in your friend group, family, or neighborhood. Who's good at fixing things? Who knows first aid? Who can grow food? Who has experience with construction? This inventory helps you identify both strengths to build on and gaps that need filling. Setting up simple resource-sharing systems before you need them makes everything run smoother when challenges hit. Tool libraries, where everyone contributes tools that are occasionally needed but rarely used at the same time, make perfect sense. And time banking systems, where people exchange hours of different services rather than money, have worked well in many communities during tough economic times. Communication is another critical aspect of community resilience. Having backup ways to coordinate when normal channels aren't working can make a huge difference. This could be as simple as designated meeting times and places, or as involved as neighborhood radio networks. The beautiful thing about building community resilience is that it makes your life better right now. Stronger social connections improve mental health, provide practical support in daily life, and create a more meaningful sense of belonging. It's truly a win-win approach. So we've talked about all these practical preparations, but honestly, the mental game might be the most important piece of all, because your mindset during challenging times often determines outcomes more than your physical preparations. Adaptability is probably the most valuable mental trait you can develop. When things don't go according to plan, and they never do, can you adjust quickly, or do you get stuck? You can build this adaptability muscle by intentionally putting yourself in new situations, learning new skills, or occasionally practicing controlled discomfort like taking cold showers or fasting for a day. Something to watch out for is what experts call normalcy bias, our brain's tendency to assume things will continue as they always have, even when there's evidence they won't. This is why people stay in dangerous situations too long or fail to prepare for obvious threats. So combat this by establishing clear triggers for action that don't require certainty before you make moves. Fear management is critical when things get scary. Simple techniques like box breathing, inhale 4 counts, hold 4 counts, exhale 4 counts, hold 4 counts, can calm your nervous system when adrenaline kicks in, and regular practice makes these techniques second nature when you really need them. Having simple decision-making frameworks helps when you're under pressure and can't think clearly. The military uses the OODA loop. Observe what's happening, orient to understand the situation, decide on action, and act quickly, then repeat the process with new information. Having this structure helps cut through fear and confusion. Finding meaning and purpose during difficult times provides the psychological fuel to keep going. Throughout history, people who maintained a sense of purpose and connection to something larger than themselves showed remarkable resilience in the face of incredible hardship. The great news is that developing psychological resilience makes everyday life better too. You'll handle normal stress more effectively, bounce back faster from setbacks, and generally maintain better emotional balance no matter what life throws at you. We've covered a lot today, from food and water security to energy independence, health systems, practical skills, community building, and psychological resilience, and all these pieces work together to create real preparedness that goes way beyond just stockpiling supplies. The cool thing about this approach is that it makes your life better right now, regardless of whether any major disruption ever happens. You eat better food, save money on repairs, enjoy stronger community connections, and handle everyday challenges with more ease and confidence. This isn't about fear or paranoia. It's about building capability and independence because throughout history, people with diverse skills, strong communities, and adaptable mindsets have navigated even the toughest times successfully, often emerging stronger than before. You don't need to do everything at once. Just start somewhere that interests you, maybe learning to ferment foods or setting up a small rainwater collection system or taking a wilderness first aid course. Each step builds on the last, gradually creating genuine resilience that serves you well in all circumstances. If you found this helpful, please hit that subscribe button and share this video with someone who might benefit from it, and drop a comment letting me know which area you're focusing on first, or what topics you'd like me to cover in more depth in future videos. Until next time, stay capable, stay connected, and stay positive. The best preparations are the ones that make life better no matter what happens.